Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen Restaurant Edition. I'm your host, Nicole Gaffney, and we're here today at Nordon Preferred Kitchen Equipment Studios with 1741 on the Terrace at the historic Hotel Bethlehem. And joining me in the kitchen is Executive Chef Michael Adams. Welcome back, Chef.
Thank you.
Great to have you here.
Great to be here.
As always. Well, what are we making?
So we're gonna do a really nice Bronzino dish.
Nice.
And we're gonna be doing it with some Sunchokes, which are Jerusalem artichokes. And we have some local mushrooms. We buy all of our mushrooms from Primordia mushrooms. So we have some maitakes, some oyster, some royal trumpets, and some creminis.
Gorgeous mushrooms.
Preparing that with some asparagus and some aromatics, and we're gonna do this nice little arugula and hazelnut salad to complete the dish.
Excellent.
Start with the sauce. So we're gonna get that going first.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to just
Little
add
shallot?
a little shallot.
Okay. What kind of a sauce is this going to be?
So this is going to be just a mushroom jus, and we're going to mount a little butter in at the end. But we're going to take some of the cremini mushrooms and some of the stems, and we're going to just slice those down. We're going to sweat them with some porcini powder, which we dehydrated the mushrooms in our great combi oven that we use.
Whoa,
and
that's what this is.
Yeah, and we put it into a spice grinder, and we do that with lots of mushrooms, so all
That's
kinds
really
of things.
Strong.
Tomato peel and lots of different things.
Do it with lots of different stuff?
Yep.
Cool.
And if you would grab that olive oil right over there.
This here?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna just add a little bit of the oil, and we're gonna sweat the shallots and the mushrooms.
Great. So you're not really looking to get color on these, you just want them
We're
to
gonna
release their
sweat
flavors.
them, right, we're gonna sweat them till translucent. So very little. At the very end, we're gonna slightly caramelize it. And we're gonna add the mushrooms, the onions, the shallots.
Nice. So is this a recipe or a dish that's on your menu right now at 1741?
So this is actually, we don't have this specific dish, but we will run it as one of our Chef's Kitchen
Excellent.
features on our menu, which we have all the time. We always feature one or two of the dishes from the Chef's Kitchen that we've done here, and we will definitely have that on for the spring, because there's lots of some of the spring ingredients as well.
That is so cool. People can watch it on the show, then they can come and try it in the restaurant, then they can try and make it at home, and then realize that they just need to go back and eat it at the restaurant.
Exactly, that's the point. All right, so we're just going to season it, and always season in stages. We're going to add a little, just a little sea salt there at the beginning. We're going to
Nice
add
coarse salt too.
Yep, and we're going to add some thyme.
Mushrooms and thyme is a really nice pairing.
Mushrooms and thyme and tarragon and rosemary if you like it. So we're going to use the porcini powder in 2 stages. We're going to use it in the sauce. And then when we go to sear the fish, we're going to lightly dust the fish with the porcini powder as well. We're going to add a little bit of porcini powder to that. And we're going to sweat that just for about 30 seconds.
So not too much of it, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And we'll turn the... Okay, and we're going to deglaze that with a little bit of sherry vinegar.
Nice.
It's going to add a nice acidic dimension to the dish.
Chefs love their sherry vinegar. I find it's such a commonly used ingredient on this show.
It's great.
It's for good
Sauces,
reason.
vinaigrettes, emulsions, all sorts of things. Okay, so we have this, and then what we're going to do is just let that cook down a little bit, and then we're going to add the vegetable stock.
And you make your own stocks in-house?
We do.
Always.
Everything, always.
Gotta love that. It makes a really big difference in the flavor. Those boxed stocks, it's kind of a funny phrase.
I don't even know what that is. Do you make those?
They do, and they all kind of have this really weird flavor. They make everything you make taste the same.
Okay, so from that point, we're gonna leave that simmer.
Stay tuned for more from the Hotel Bethlehem. We're back with more from the Hotel Bethlehem.
So our next step is we're gonna take our sunchokes.
This looks like ginger, doesn't it?
It does. You know, sunchokes have kind of the consistency of a water chestnut, but these have a very earthy flavor. They are full season, so these are actually, you know, from this last fall season.
Really?
But it's a full year of growth. So the
Wow.
farmers only have it for that time between mid-September and late October.
Okay.
But they do store well. This is
Obviously.
a great storing tuber. But they are in the they're in the sunflower family.
Are they like sort of the roots of a sunflower?
They are. They're the bulb. You know, they're the
Right.
tubers.
Very cool.
Yeah, they have beautiful flower on them, and
course.
then you get the reward of the tuber.
What's
So
not to love about that?
lots of different ways to prepare. I actually grow these at we have a small farm, but they're great to pull out of the ground, and they're really fresh. And
Very cool.
you can peel them, but as long as they're really washed really well, I like to leave the skin on.
Nice, more kind of texture and probably flavor that way.
Yep.
Definitely nutrients.
And we're just gonna cut them in quarters.
You can hear how crisp they are.
Yeah, they're so crunchy, and you know, we make another dish with all the mushrooms we use, and we actually, you know, we'll do sunchokes 3 ways. So we'll make little chips, and then we do roasted, and then we do a puree, and we serve them with a whole bunch of different mushrooms. And
Wow.
they're phenomenal. So what you want to do is you do want to add a little acid to the water when you're cooking the sunchokes, so they're oxidized.
Okay.
So just
Just
squeeze,
like a potato?
Squeeze a little bit of lemon juice. You can use a little white wine vinegar.
All right.
Anything that's going to prevent the sunchoke from oxidizing.
Now, can you eat these raw?
You can. You can.
Little starchy, though.
Yeah, you know, you can shave them really thin, and you can use them as a in a composed salad.
They're sweet.
Yeah, and like I said, we fry them, and we'll do little
Yum.
chips for garnish.
You can really start to smell that vinegar, too.
Yeah, that's gonna, as it reduces, obviously the flavor is gonna intensify as we reduce it down.
How is it?
It's really good, and we're gonna finish that sauce with a little bit of butter. So that's just about there.
Awesome.
All right, so the other component of this dish, we're just gonna take some nice asparagus.
Great
And,
spring vegetable.
Yep, we're gonna blanch the asparagus. Just gonna cut it on the bias.
All right. So you're coming up to a really busy season over at the restaurant. You've got wedding season coming up. We have Easter, Mother's Day, summertime. What do you have going on that's new and exciting?
So we're running our, from now almost until the end of November, we're just gonna offer a 3-course, $45 prefix menu.
Which is an amazing value.
Yeah, and that'll change every week, and we run it Sunday through Thursday. So it gives people an opportunity to kind of try the new upcoming dishes for
Right.
the upcoming spring menu. So we try to be a little bit ahead on that
Of
when we make the
course.
changeover, and then when they come back, they see it on the menu, and
Yeah.
they get very excited about it.
Very nice. And it's such a fun restaurant to come to because you know you're going to get amazing cuisine, but it's so casual. You can come in as you are. You don't have to get dressed up. You don't even necessarily have to have a reservation.
I
but
would
usually
suggest on the weekend.
on the weekend,
you
yeah.
know,
But you can walk
but,
right in and have yourself a great meal. No fuss, no muss.
We have our hotel guests that come down and they'll have
Exactly.
dinner, and so I definitely, on the weekends, and you know, we tend to have all of our weddings going on the weekend, and the hotel fills up, so we're extremely busy. So
Yeah,
we definitely
definitely.
encourage
Coming into this season too.
reservations.
And you have those big gorgeous windows, which such a nice view outside, downtown Bethlehem. It's really such a great place to come. One of my favorites.
We're gonna blanch the asparagus for about 1.5 minutes.
Okay.
We're gonna add a little salt to the water.
Why is it important to add salt to the water at this step?
You're adding the salt to, you know, flavor it. So it's
Yeah.
when you bite into it, it's throughout and not just on the outside
Right.
of the asparagus.
That's important. It's one of the things that really sets apart a good chef from a great chef, I think.
So then what we have here is we're going to start to saute our mushrooms for the final dish, for the final plating. We have some oyster mushrooms, and we have the white trumpet mushrooms,
Those are awesome. They're so meaty.
and we have some maitakes right here.
Do you have a favorite mushroom?
It depends what season.
Yeah?
I do love morels in the spring, and I would say my all-time favorite is a chanterelle mushroom. They're amazing, very versatile, and you can use them in lots of different dishes. So we're just gonna take a little bit of olive oil.
Now, I notice you have these scored. What's the purpose of that?
So that just makes it for a really nice presentation.
Okay.
So it's just
Fair
a little different, and we're just gonna get a nice, really golden brown on these, and it just makes it, you know, visually appealing.
Stay tuned for more with Chef Michael Adams. We're back with more from the Hotel Bethlehem.
The mushrooms do absorb a lot of the oil, so we're gonna be adding a little bit at a time and drop our asparagus.
So those are going to take a lot longer to cook than these.
So we're starting out with these, and then we're gonna add the oyster mushrooms and the maitakes towards the end. When these get about 50% cooked, we're gonna add those in
Great.
and finish those. And we're gonna add some shallots.
Nice thinly sliced. You have excellent knife technique, something I've always noticed about you, Chef.
Thank you. You can see as I'm adding the oil, it keeps absorbing, right?
Yeah, and that's
So
not
they're
going to make
starting
them
to
greasy.
They're
It's-
starting to get that
Wow.
really beautiful golden brown, right? So we're going to turn those over. Okay.
So
Add
even more oil.
And let's add our shallots. And then our oyster mushrooms. Pull these apart a little more. Okay, and we're going to season them again. So a little bit more salt.
Even more oil, the last of it.
So we're just going to remove the asparagus and we're going to hold it till we compose our salad. Okay. I'm just going to put a bay leaf in here. We're going to put a bay leaf in with the sunchokes. And these are getting real close.
Okay.
All right.
How do you know when they're done?
So you just, till they're tender. They're going to caramelize, and see there's still a little bit of uncooked mushroom
Right.
there. You want that to be almost, translucent, where it's a little soft and tender. Our sunchokes are just about ready, and all we're going to do is we're going to strain our sauce now.
Okay.
So I think I have a strainer down here.
So we don't want any of those flavorings in there, we just want the liquid.
You're just going to take the liquids.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to use that pan for searing our fish as well. Okay, slightly
already been
firm. Yep, it's already
filleted.
been filleted, and there's still a few. There's a backbone
Check
there.
for some bones.
Yep.
Did you ever cook the fish whole?
We do. We do that in the summer. We'll cook the fish whole, and then, we're so we have an abundance of ingredients, so we do lots of different preparations with it.
So you're just taking that backbone out altogether?
Correct.
All right.
And we're going to take the tail off.
Okay. Where do you source your fish from?
So we get our fish from Samuel & Sons.
Of course, everybody loves Samuel's.
Philly, and we have a couple other smaller suppliers that we get some of our fish from. Okay, so we're just going to take the, what you want to do with the fish is, so it doesn't curl up when you're cooking it, we're just going to squirt a little bit here.
Okay.
Okay. So you just want to get it just through the skin.
And what's the purpose of this?
So when you sear this fish, it's going to start to curl
curl.
up, so it's just going to cook evenly. You do it this way.
You also kind of get the seasoning in there too.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, so we're just going to take a little bit of neutral oil. So you can use safflower, sunflower, grapeseed.
Something with a higher smoke point.
Yep. And we are ready to go. So we're just going to cook it skin side down.
Oh yeah, you can really see it curl up almost immediately.
And then we're going to dust
That
Just
porcini
with a little
powder.
bit of porcini powder here. All right, and we're going to take a little bit of butter.
All right. Some thyme. Are you going to baste it?
We are. We're going to take that thyme.
I love when
and
chefs
the
do
bay
this.
leaf. Okay, and just going to take a little bit crushed
You kind of
garlic.
crush that with your hand.
Yep. And then we're going to take the butter, and we're going to shut the heat off. This fish cooks relatively quickly.
Yeah, it's really thin.
Yep. And all those herbs are infusing into the fat. And we're just going to right over the porcini powder.
Stay tuned for more from the Hotel Bethlehem. We're back with Chef Michael Adams of the Hotel Bethlehem.
So as soon as it starts to turn brown on the outside edges, we're going to turn it. You can see how the outside edge is starting to turn brown.
Yeah, it's getting opaque.
Okay.
Look at that, nice crispy skin.
And we're going to shut that off because that's going to cook really fast. So we're going to start composing our salad over here. We're going to take our mushroom jus, our asparagus, and we're going to add some of our mushrooms.
Nice. Could you saute the asparagus, or is it really better to blanch it?
Sure, you can blanch it and then saute it, or you can, if you have the grill going, you can put it on the grill. It's all going to add a slightly different dimension. And then we're going to take some olive oil. And then we're going to take some micro arugula.
Any reason you like the micro arugula?
It just gives it a nice peppery flavor, and it's a lot more tender when it's young. And
Wow,
we're going to
very
take
peppery.
some toasted crushed hazelnuts. Okay, so
Great.
we're just going to coarsely chop those a little bit.
And how important is it that they're toasted?
Very important.
Yeah.
You're going to get a totally different flavor when you toast them than raw.
Great.
Okay,
And you have
We're
them
gonna add
skinned
that.
as well.
and we're going to add a little bit
whoops,
of
one fell.
lemon juice.
They are so good.
Fresh ground pepper. A little bit of salt.
Very simple salad.
Okay, and we're ready to complete our dish.
This is so springy. I love it. It's perfect for this time of year. Would you do a slightly different variation on this in the fall with different vegetables?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do then?
Well, the chanterelles are available.
Oh, of course.
So I would use those as the mushrooms, and perhaps I'd take go a different direction and maybe use some kohlrabi and some mushrooms and maybe some sort of squash or or cauliflower, or their possibilities are endless.
Yeah, so much good stuff. Amazing colors though, with that asparagus, the micro arugula. Really pretty dish. It's not even done yet. And would this be one portion, or would this be for two people?
This would be one portion.
Okay, it's a nice sized portion, which really everything at the restaurant you serve is decent. You're not gonna walk away hungry, that's for sure.
So we're just gonna finish our sunchokes here. So from this point, you can saute them, and we're just gonna take the blanched sunchoke and add into the bowl here. And we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil.
They have such a unique fragrance.
They do, very earthy. I'm gonna add the salt. And the reason why we're doing it this way is this is gonna give you the pure sunchoke, right?
Nice.
We're not adding anything to take away from it. I think these need to be left alone.
Okay, unadulterated.
And then what we'll do is we're just gonna finish up the plate with a few of these.
Nice. They probably add a really nice textural element to this too.
They do earthiness, texture, all of those things. And then we'll just finish it with a little bit of this mushroom jus.
Do these surprise a lot of people when they?
The sunchokes?
Yeah, like do they?
Yeah, a
think
lot
they're
of people
potatoes?
are, they're just not familiar with it.
Right.
But and it's one of those things that people love it.
Yeah,
or they hate it.
A lot of foods are like
But
that.
yeah, and
Mushrooms are like that.
true.
Is this it?
That's it.
It's beautiful. Let's bring it over so we can taste. All right, you ready to taste?
Absolutely. Thank you.
There you are.
Thanks.
All right, let's dig in. The fish is cooked perfectly. That sauce, I just got a taste of that mushroom sherry sauce. It's fabulous. And I have to try the sunchoke, of course. This is great. It's a really nice light dish, perfect for spring, transitioning into summer. 1741, such amazing food there, casual atmosphere, but great, great fine dining cuisine. You do an awesome job.
Thank you.
We can't wait to have you back on the show again.
Me too. Thanks.
Come see us anytime.
The Lehigh Valley's premier hotel, Historic Hotel Bethlehem, is perfect for any stay, offering 2 restaurants by notable chef Michael Adams, 1741 on the Terrace, an upscale dining experience, and the Tap Room, a casual restaurant. Guests enjoy 24-hour room service, along with the Shop at Hotel Bethlehem, featuring Penn State Creamery ice cream, and offering the finest in accessories. 2 beautiful ballrooms and ample meeting space make Historic Hotel Bethlehem the place to host your next event. Stay with us at Historic Hotel Bethlehem and feel at home.
It's not only the people that are great, but the equipment here, the studio that I get to cook in. It's always a pleasure to cook in, and it's a lot of fun.